I got a good one for you. Big shout out to Andrew, who helps with social media over at Riververse Comics. And he gave me a heads up on this. And this is a cool little story. I actually can put this in a lot in context with not just the company's launch, Riververse, that is, just how the industry really is. As announced, and Kingdom of Comics is based out of Melbourne, Florida. You can go check them out over there. They are a comic book shop that can do decently well. And they, fun fact, posted some stats here. It's on their Instagram as well, that they were going to be posting some stats like over the last 4 years, right? The top 5 graphic novels sold in quantity. Number 1 is Isom. Behind us, it was Spider-Man Maximum Carnage, the Sunstone, the Recount, Infinity Gauntlet. And they have some other stats, some other cool stats I think they're going to be posting as well. You got some stuff right here, top 5 comics in quantity sold. You got the Recount King Spawn, which is not even surprising at all because King Spawn had the number 1 selling comic in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So we were number 1 in terms of the graphic novels. They always classify our types of books because they have obviously the page count and the spine. This isn't a trade. It's not like a compilation. It's like of old material. This is brand new, but they're still going to call it a graphic novel. That's just what it is that they do. Now, we gave them a lot of comics. To put this into perspective, every single comic book shop that got in on it, they reached out to us and we sold it to them retail, or we sold them to a wholesale price. They sold it for the 35 and they all sold out. Every single one of them sold out of Isom 1, particularly covers A and B. One of the biggest online comic book shops, big shout out to mycomicshop.com, one of the biggest online retailers in our industry. They sold out of both cover A and cover B twice. They hit us back up, said, hey, we want another wave of them. We sent them a bunch. They sold out of them bad boys almost immediately. It took 2 days for Kingdom of Comics, if I'm not mistaken, to sell out of their bunch, right? So every single shop, not this ain't just a one or got lucky. No, every single shop, including one of the biggest online retailers, sold out of Isom, period. What does this mean? And keep this in mind. I didn't have to do this. Again, not hyping the company up. I'm just giving you the facts. Our model is not like every other company's model. We're not relying on a distributor to then give it to another retailer, right? So then it's like it's out of our hands. We've sold it. Who cares what happens if it rots on the shelf? It rots on the shelf. No, right? Our primary market is directly to the customer, right? It's directly to the customer. So we actually lose money that we could have made by giving it to retailers. But I understand the importance of what a comic book shop is. Now, I ain't gonna bend over backwards to try to save these bad boys, especially those arrogant comic book shops. Some of them, we've talked about this on my stream, got some issues certainly with us. I'm not gonna bend over backwards to try to save some of these arrogant comic book shops that have, are closing down left to right. But those of us who reach out to us like they would any other publisher to try to get the book, we'll sell it to them at that rate so that they can turn a profit, because the comic book shops, when I was coming up, were important to me. It's not that I have to do that. We don't. But they were important to me, and I want to make sure if they can make a little profit off of this, let's make sure they can make a little profit off of it. And we give it to them. They sell out. All of them did it. So y'all can sit here and knock us all you want. Now, guys, you can put this in comparison to the top selling graphic novels of last year, according to in years past, right? Usually the top selling graphic novels, you'll get a breakout year. One may do 40,000, maybe sell to stores, but usually it's floating around the 20,000 mark. That's what it was in 2021. We destroyed that. We have sold as of now over 60,000 books, Isom books. Over 60,000. Between 3 covers, over 60,000. Okay? That's what the fact is. In high demand. We've covered right? There was at one point where we were right behind Spawn, that new number, that Spawn #1 that it come out in terms of the aftermarket, right? The speculator market in terms of what people wanted. You've seen how much definitely A and B. You saw how much those were selling for like on eBay and stuff like that. This is a hot commodity. I told y'all fools, y'all can have the retweets, y'all can have the likes, y'all can have the CBR article. Who gives a shit? A lot of that, and as Isom proves, as you had people that were within this industry trying to, super fans, you had the bleeding asshole over there writing hit pieces on us. Reddit forums, the biggest comic book Reddit forum, which supposedly cares so much about comic books, you couldn't talk about Isom without getting banned. Even if you just brought it up, you got banned. So we had all that working against us. Y'all can have all of that. Who cares? I'm all about giving the customers what they want. I'm about selling it to them. And they, no matter where they're at on the political spectrum, if you want it, I ain't no Kelly Sue DeConnick, right? If you don't like my politics, you can still buy my books. Hell, I prefer it. Hell, you haters, go ahead and get in on it so you can do your little videos. But shout out to every customer. Big shout out to Kingdom Comics as well, because they wanted in on it early. They saw what this was. If you want to make a little money, you come to I ain't trying to pull a Suge Knight, you know what I mean? But if you want to make a little money, come over to the Rippaverse. That's where the money's at. High demand. You're going to sell your books. Straight up. Now, look, in order to maintain it, we are perfectly aware that we knocked it out the park with Isom, right? We did. Straight up. I'm not expecting to make $3.7 million on every campaign, but we knocked it out the park with Isom. The vast majority of the customers that got them loved it. They got the book. They loved it. So they'll be sticking around, right? We have to keep that up. We have to continue to give the audience what it is that they want. We're perfectly aware of that. But as of right now, this is where the money's at. You can visit Rippaverse.com if you want to get in on it. You still get cover C, the mass printed cover. You can still get it over at Rippaverse.com/store. We will update you as maybe comic shops want in on it. We will update you. But yeah, that's just what it's going to be. I don't know what day. Y'all can hate me. I told y'all fools. I told definitely my detractors, bro. I told y'all, who cares? You guys ain't as powerful as you think. The money gonna talk. You can knock us as all you want, but the money gonna talk. We don't do it for you. I'm not trying to sell to an audience that doesn't exist, right? That make Stan accounts, but they don't actually buy it. First thing they do is go pirate the material. I don't care about those. Those don't equal money in the pockets of the company, so we can continue to make work. Y'all can have the retweets and the likes and stuff. I want the dollar bill, y'all, so I can make sure my creatives get paid on time. Unlike some of these other publishers. We winning! Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, you may be interested in my comic book company, Rippaverse Comics. Our first book and campaign, Isom #1, brought in $3.7 million with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Visit Rippaverse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.